And Jeff Pegues joins us now from Washington. Jeff, why are these phone scams so hard to stop?
Well, in part because the people behind them are either overseas or they're acting domestically. Plus, they keep changing their tactics, and that's what the IRS is telling us. And that's why they're so hard to track down, to arrest, because the tactics continue to evolve.
And do we know how these scammers are able to get so much personal information?
Well, that's a good question. In part, what's happening is they're succeeding in convincing people that they are the IRS, and people are handing over their personal information, and that's why you really have to be careful. These criminals behind these scams are so well rehearsed. They do their homework. They know certain things about the IRS, specific locations, even some people who might be working at the IRS, and so it's relatively easy for them to convince some people who may not know that, first of all, the IRS will not call you except in rare circumstances, and also the IRS will not reach out to you via email looking for personal information. So those are things that you should always keep in mind.
And Jeff, is there any estimate how much this has cost taxpayers?
Well, according to Treasury Department officials, it's cost about $30 million since 2013, and keep in mind that's just the phone scams alone, so chances are the number is a lot higher than that. Also keep in mind there are people who are so embarrassed by having been taken by these scammers that they don't want to report it, they don't want to talk about it. And by the way, Elaine, I did get one of those calls.
Really?
Oh yeah.
What happened?
Well, it was, you know, as
they called the wrong person, clearly.
Well, you think they did, but there were a few minutes there where I was convinced that, is this, you know, I was trying to decide, well, is this real? Is this not? But then there were clues that they were asking questions that certainly the IRS would not ask. But
wow.
You can certainly see how.
What were those questions, Jeff? Just so our people, our viewers who are listening in, if they get a call from these people, just so they're aware, what are the kinds of things that were red flags for you as you were talking to this person?
Well, I think the red flags were a lot of the personal information that they were asking for, and you know what else they did? And after I realized that this was a scam phone call, mm-hmm. There was no doubt about it. Mm-hmm. The person on the other end of the line asked me, and I wanted to see how far they would go, mm-hmm. And so they asked me to go to the bank to check money out.
Wow.
And they were going to tell me how to do it. They said, get in your car, keep the phone on, make sure it's charged. Let's
wow.
go to the bank and let's try to take out this money. So, you know, that was one of the tactics they were using. And you know, obviously, you know, could there be people out there who would fall for that? Perhaps. You know, in a lot of the cases, these guys are well rehearsed. They had my address. They seem to have some personal information. Maybe it was publicly available information, mm-hmm. but in that way, it was really unsettling.
Wow, that is really a warning of our viewers out there. You have to be careful. All right, Jeff Pegues in Washington for us. Jeff, thanks so much for that.